So, do you have a release date for Gamma Coin? Or
It's probably gonna be the first Monday of September at this point. Because I once I get the data, the files uploaded to Ingram, I need to order my proof copy and get it shipped to me, and that can take 3 weeks easily. Uh, and assuming that's good to go, it can release basically as soon as I've gotten the proof.
cool. Yeah, I remember I had to have my cover resized a bunch of times. It went onto KDP, no problem, but onto IngramSpark, it gave me a little bit of a fight. But then
I'm really concerned.
BarnesandNoble.com just would not cooperate for me. I couldn't even get that far with them. I don't know what I did wrong, but it kind of got stuck in some weird kind of loop, waiting for approval on something I've submitted, and it just kind of hung there forever.
I want to know why the IngramSpark book builder tool thinks my cover image is low resolution when it is 1800 pixels by 2700 pixels for a 6x9 cover.
Could it be the colors? Just the bright colors might
I
throw
mean,
the scanner.
your file size is low, but it's 300 DPI. What do they want from me?
Somebody misplaced a decimal point?
By the way, I do like that cover though. It's very eye-catching.
Yeah, I have. I am learning the way of cover art a lot better.
I like your 5-4 one though. That one was just
that's kind of cool with the doors and some of them open. It's almost a bit of a trippy optical illusion happening.
Yeah, but not every book I write is appropriate for that kind of style.
No, that's true.
In fact, that was the only book that kind of style would be appropriate for.
Yeah, but you even made it the banner for your page. I saw, or I don't know if it still is, but
yeah,
I just thought that was really cool the way your name was displayed on there.
So because it's a repeating pattern, I was able to expand it to like a YouTube banner is something like 5,000 pixels wide. And I didn't have an image that big. So, but because it's a pattern, I was able to just expand it, and it looks like like a intelligent pattern, right?
Mm-hmm. And Andrew Campbell asks, "What's better, IngramSpark or Amazon?"
Amazon pays better. IngramSpark's print quality is slightly better, in my opinion.
I agree with that on the print quality. Yeah, KDP seems to be a little bit more of a user-friendly site. In my experience so far, who knows? When I go back with this next one, I might see completely different user interfaces. Who knows how many updates have happened since then? But I found that KDP is just simpler for me to navigate, and that's just me. It could be the other way around for other people. But yeah, in fact, I could bring over 2 books now, that one printed from KDP and one from IngramSpark, and I think you can actually visibly see a bit of the difference in the color.
So what I want to see is the quality of the new wood pulp that IngramSpark is offering. Like, I'm really considering pulling out my horror arc from Undying Emperor. So I have it's like 15,000 words, real short side story to Undying Emperor that doesn't follow my main character. But it explains what one of the other characters is doing during Act 3. And I wrote it as this horror epistolary where it's all told through recovered documents and journal entries as this monk at this abbey just gets attacked every night by basically Grendel, right? This troll shows up and kills people every night, night after night after night after night. Until it finally gets to him, basically, and there's some twists and turns and some magic and the challenges of his faith and stuff like that. I think it came together really well. But right now, it's just for free on the web novel, even though it really doesn't fit there. So I've been thinking of uploading it to Ingram. I'd make the ebook free because it's free on Royal Road, but charge for the paperback, of course, and see what the quality of their low-cost wood pulp paper is.
Yeah, one of the things I did is, I don't know if I had that option on KDP or if I just didn't notice it, but when I published on Ingram, I did the cream colored pages, and I compared the two, the cream color versus the white. I liked the cream better. It was easier on the eyes, I thought.
Interesting.
Now, will Ingram also add a Kindle version on Amazon, or is that only through Amazon?
I don't know, but I don't want to deal with bots scamming the Kindle Unlimited pages.
Okay, that's an interesting thing I hadn't thought of.
I'm not sure what you mean by the bots.
So right now, Kindle Unlimited is completely flooded with AI books being read by AIs.
Really?
Yeah. Like if you look at the top 10 most read books, they're complete nonsense spewed out of ChatGPT and thrown up. And other programs are hitting them up with the free. I believe there's like a certain amount of pages you can read for free without the reader paying anything.
Oh
Or the
yeah.
author still gets paid because it's page reads. So they just have bot farms churning that out on all these AI books.
Wow.
Wow. But that does lead to somebody was pointing out that eventually the
Hi, Ram.
the IA or the AI stuff is going to be
Ram!
generating stuff based upon what it's already created, and the quality will end up decreasing because it's the AI generating AI stuff. Or
Yeah, it's going
Sort
to
of.
start turning into a
consuming
Xerox of a Xerox of a
Yeah.
Xerox
There
type
are things
scenario.
that can be done to prevent model collapse, but they will have to change the way they do it. Basically, so like ChatGPT 4 is not going to be poisoned because it already has its training data. And ChatGPT 4 is going to basically buy OpenAI enough time to figure out a way to screen its training data. But yeah, model collapse is coming for it. Model collapse is why people aren't going to have private competitors. Basically, the big companies will figure out a way around it. But if you're just Joe Schmo and you want to scrape your favorite porn site to get AI generated to your desires, it's going to collapse on you.
Yeah, there's so much weird stuff going on with the AI. I don't think we could even truly know where it's going to end
I
up
don't
at this
compute
point,
it, so I don't mess with it.
Hey, can I field a
Yeah.
question to the group here?
Sure.
Sure.
After I ask this question, Wrangler, because you have your camera on, I might ask you to show the width of one of my books, and we'll use that as a benchmark.
Okay.
How much should an ebook cost? And that's why I said you might want to take a look at the size of one of my books.
Let me go grab them. I'll be right back.
Are you talking about like the retail price, like what we're paying for it, or
Yeah, what should a
okay.
reader have to pay to get a book?
The easy answer would say on page length, but that's not always the right answer because I want quality other than length sometimes.
Yeah. And I'm not quite sure about that because I've seen some pretty good Kindle books that are going for pretty cheap, and then I've seen some where, well, the author has written all of these books in the past, and they've got this huge library of books and everything, so the price of their ebook was stupidly expensive, and it was simply because it was the author's name on the book. I don't know how good the book actually was, though.
So, something that neither of you considered is groups like Project Gutenberg. You can get public domain books, full length, in ebook format for free.
Oh yeah.
$0. You can download them for $0, and they are better written, or you can find better written books in the public domain than anything in India is putting out today.
Oh yeah.
For the record, I consider my books to be short books because I write
Ship
between
of Fools
70
is
to
your
90,000
thickest.
words.
Yeah, Ship of Fools looks like your thickest. Probably followed by Infinite Money Glitch, I think.
They're almost the same.
Oh, okay.
It's like one is 75 and the other is 80 or something like that.
Yeah.
So
This is the one I almost lost down the
Oh,
That's
Don't
why
lose
all
your
the
grip
books
now.
came off.
So
I don't know why, but I like 5 to 4. It's very amusing to me. But I like Infinite Money Glitch too.
thank you very
You
much.
see, I don't know if the camera can pick this up, but one is KDP and the other is the other is IngramSpark.
The one on your left, our right, has better color, like quite
Same.
noticeably better color.
yeah. Yep, I can see some specific
This
things.
No, the other one.
That one. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, the cover quality is significantly higher.
IngramSpark. The material has a bit of a different feel as well. I can't show you what the material feels like, so I can take the screen down. But they're comparable, but I think Ingram is slightly better as far as the sturdiness of the cover. But yeah, the ink quality is just. I mean, this is a cheap little laptop lens, and you can see the difference. So that's kind of impressive.
So yeah. Anyways, that's kind of the problem with pricing is there's too much at free right now.
Yeah.
You can get some of the best literature ever written by man for free because it's public domain.
Mm-hmm.
You can also get some of the worst literature of man, but so much of it you could crush an elephant to death with it if you printed it on sites like Royal Road and Web Novel and Fanfiction and Archive of Our Own and Wattpad. And that's just all free.
Yeah.
It's usually terrible, but when you have so much of it, you can probably find something that scratches your itch. So that raises the question of like, what ground does an indie author have to charge for a product that they don't have an overhead cost on?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I was just looking at mine. Mine is listed for $3.99, and that now I'm considering that. I might want to knock another buck off of that.
Well, but it's not exactly sustainable if authors are giving away their work.
True. Now for an e-version, I expect to pay a little bit less, and in some instances, like one of the publishers that I used to get some of my technical books, I like getting the actual physical book, but then also a copy of the e-version, and I would pay like a buck or two extra or something to get both formats.
Oh, that's so weird that you can't discount an ebook for people that bought the paperback. It's so weird.
That's something that frustrates me on Amazon is that I can't do that there. I got to pay the full price for both if I want both, and so I typically just go for one or the other.
Yeah, I typically go for a physical copy and an electronic copy because I'm too stubborn to go get glasses and I need to change the font size.
The problem
Let's
is
go all the way.
paper's expensive.
Yeah.
In typical Stormcrow fashion, he asks, I finished my book. James Craig hates it because he has bad taste, but besides that, where would the best place to publish my first book?
Go wide.
What's that?
I said go wide. There's no reason to not go wide.
Yeah.
And by that, you mean through multiple publishing
put
services?
on every Amazon and all of its competitors. And most, like even KDP has that built in now so that they can be the distributor themselves instead of losing a small cut to companies like IngramSpark or Drafted Digital or Book something. I forget what the other one is.
How's it going, Brian?
So, anyways, my answer to the ebook price problem is I charge $2.99 for my intro, for at least for the intro books, like the book one in a series. Because any cheaper and you get algorithmically suppressed. Amazon doesn't want to promote cheap books because they don't make money on cheap books.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard that it's a balancing act. It's like if you go too cheap, no, it's never going to get seen. But if you go too pricey, people think there's more prestige to it, but then they're not going to want it.
So do you think it's reasonable for me to charge more for later installments in a series? I look
Perhaps
at book one in a
that's
series
still
as
kind
a
of
loss leader.
circumstantial. I mean, how are you
Yeah.
feeling about the later ones of your series? Do you think it really ramps up and it keeps ringing that bell each time? Then yeah, why not? It's like, have the intro here. Here's what you're in for, and as long as it's consistent, and I don't see why not. I mean, you gotta have it at least accessible. What is that called in sales? Loss leader.
Yeah. Well, that's I call him Undying Emperor a loss leader. So I get $0 from Undying Emperor. That's
I can't
half my
speak on
output.
books too much, but I know like Big Finish for the radio dramas for Doctor Who. The first ones, the early ones they did around 2000, they're dirt cheap right now. I got several of them on my phone. They were like, I think it's $2 a story and stuff. Now, if you get to the more recent stuff, you're going to pay a pretty penny just to get the box sets. And I mean a digital box set. You're looking at, and I'm talking about US dollars, not the pound system. You're looking at least 50, maybe $60 just for 4 stories for the new stuff sometimes.
Well, yeah, the deeper in the series you go, the more committed the fan is. So, the demand cost curve keeps changing because your target demographic is changing. Well, only a diehard Whovian is buying the last installment.